All right, what is going on, everybody? Is it working? Yes, okay. I want to make sure the audio is working. DSP here, and welcome to the Weekend Preview. Today is Sunday, November 13th, 2016. I got a lot of updates, in particular regarding the status of playthroughs and new games that I've been covering, patron updates, and of course, this big week coming up where there's 2 new releases I'll be covering, while I'm kind of juggling some other stuff going on, game reviews and the like, alright? So, FYI, this video is going to be very informative. Please bear with me. Before I even get into gameplay coverage, this particular week there's been a lot of communication and also some confusion regarding Patreon. I fully expected this was going to happen due to the really huge increase in the amount of people who pledged to my Patreon in the month of October. All right, I'm going to explain everything right now. I even put on my Twitter that you should watch this Weekend Preview video if you were a new patron or a patron who increased their pledge in the month of October 2016, because I'm going to explain the status of everyone's perks and everything, okay? The bottom line is, this past week, I've been waiting for all of you, if you were an October patron, to send me your information. It was actually 1 week ago tonight that on Patreon.com, I sent out a ton of private messages to all of my patrons from the month of October, whether or not you were getting your forum upgrades for your $5 pledge, so that you can nominate and vote on indie games for the marathon that's coming up at the end of this month, or whether it was you wanted to be able to post up your questions for the upcoming episode of Ask the King that's going to be coming up on the 24th of November, or if you wanted to get your questions submitted for your private Q&A video if you pledged $50 or more. Those are really the 3 perk levels where I need information from you in order to process your patron perks, okay? I've been waiting all week for this information, and the bottom line is all this week it's been trickling in. Every day I get a few more responses, okay? Tonight, I'm taking all of those responses that I got from you, the patrons, and I'm forwarding them off to my webmaster if it's something that you need a forum upgrade for, so you can access the already existing threads for the nominations of the indie games or to post up your questions for Ask the King. Or if you're going to send me your your questions for your private Q&A video, all right? Those I'm also putting to the side to action. So all that's getting done tonight. I needed to wait a week. And some people might say, well, Phil, first of all, why does it take a week for you to even send out those private messages on Patreon.com? It's very simple, because all the pledges don't process for several days. Every single month, probably around 3 to 4 days at least, people's pledges get declined and they change their info or whatever. So it makes sense to wait several days before I actually message the patrons for that month, so that way I'm messaging everyone at once rather than, oh, here's a bunch of people, but then this person process, send them a new private message, and then another one, and then another one. Because then if you're not doing it all at once, you have the potential to miss out on people, or people might slip through the cracks, okay? Why do I wait another week to get all of your information and try to process those forum upgrades and the like? Very simple. Same thing. If every single response I got from you, if I forwarded that right off to my webmaster would now be getting 50 to 100 separate emails, all telling him of something he needs to do. That's not fair or reasonable. So what I do is I wait for the week, I take all of this data and I put it into a file for him, and then at the end of the week I send him the file, and then he just sits there and group upgrades people on the forums, all right? That's how it works. It's a manual process. I wish that there was automation. I wish that Patreon could create a data output stream that could go to a program that could automatically process all this for everyone. It's not possible. Right now, Patreon gives me a data file that's raw data. It's text. It's not even like sorted properly. It's a mess. There's manual work to clean it up and get it all sorted out to even do anything with it. What I think ideally what could be cool is, what if Patreon eventually upgrades their business where as you pledge, you can put in your forum login and your forum email, so as soon as you pledge, boom, it automatically forwards that information off to my webmaster. It goes into his email box so he can file it, and then he can process them all. But it doesn't happen like that. There's no way to do stuff up front, because Patreon is basically in its infant stages as a business. They're just basically just trying to get this business going. Yes, they are very popular, but they really don't have much advancement at all when it comes to actually refinement of the business or giving out perks at all. So, tonight, all that data that you have sent me on Patreon.com, if you were an October patron, is being processed, and you should have your upgrades within, say, 2 or 3 days tops. Usually, it's within 24 hours when I send them to my webmaster that he processes those upgrades, okay? So, if you're waiting and you keep checking, because I got a bunch of people, there's probably like 5 people this week, who kept checking to see if they had access to the forums. They still don't have the premium access, and they keep messaging me, and I keep saying, wait, Relax. I'm getting it done. It's just that I don't want to only send 1 or 2 off to my webmaster, and the next thing you know, a bunch of people get lost in the cracks because he got a ridiculous amount of emails instead of 1 file. So tonight, it's all getting done. All right, it's all getting sent off. Within a couple days, you should have access, premium access to the forums if you're owed it. And you should be able to either nominate games or post up your questions for Ask the King. Now, if you're owed a private Q&A video, I'm going to take a look right now and see who messaged me questions, and I might actually film a bunch of those tonight. If not, worst case scenario, it'll be next Sunday, because Sunday night is the night I have a little bit of time to work on this stuff, because I'm not filming, I'm not doing edited videos usually. So Sunday night is the ideal night when I can get this stuff done. So if not tonight, it'll be next Sunday. I'll work on the private Q&A videos, okay? All right. So there you have it. That's the deal with patrons. I apologize that it's not a more refined process where we could instantly upgrade everyone. It's just not there, and it's not really something that I could control. It's Patreon. Patreon doesn't have the capability to have an upfront data collection so that it can be done automatically. It's all manual. I have to wait till the end of the month to get this data file from Patreon, and then once I get the data file, I have to manually go through it, and then I have to send it to my webmaster once you send me your info for upgrades and stuff. It really is a painstakingly manual, time-consuming process that eventually I hope will be improved, but that's really all on Patreon, sadly, okay? All right, so that's it with Patreon. I just wanted to get that out there and get that segment out of there. If you are interested in pledging, right down here, bottom right-hand corner, patreon.com/DarkSidePhil. This month, the event is a big multiplayer event. I got a lot of new people who pledged this month because they want to be a part of this multiplayer event coming up in December and early January. $5 gets you in playing a game with me, such as Battlefield 1, Call of Duty, Titanfall 2, Overwatch, etc. There's more details on it and everything over at patreon.com/DarkSidePhil, so check that out, all right? Now, let's talk about what I'm working on and what's new this week so you know exactly what to expect in my schedule, all right? First of all, this past week was a crazy variety of stuff. I was playing Call of Duty Infinite Warfare as well as Call of Duty Modern Warfare Remastered. I finished both of their campaigns, and I did multiplayer of both of those games, although, admittedly, I did not get to cover Infinite Warfare as much as I wanted to. I played 6 multiplayer matches. That was it. That is not even close to being enough exposure to the multiplayer of the game to get a good idea of it for a game review. It's just not. I need to play hours of it in order to absorb it enough to see how good it is in relation to other competitive first-person shooters this year. In addition, I haven't gotten to play the Zombies mode of Infinite Warfare at all, okay? So, in that regard, it leaves something on the plate that I need to do, and I'm going to talk about that in a moment when it comes to this week's schedule, because I've got good news, okay? In addition, I finished up Dragon Ball Xenoverse 2, and I reviewed it for KO Gaming. I played this game for 2 weeks. I wanted to finish it. I got it out of the way. It's now done. No, I'm not going back to the game to try to unlock extra stuff or anything like that. And no, I have no plans on buying any DLCs for it. Much like the first game, it was incredibly repetitive. Most of the viewership fell off after a few sessions because it became a repetitive grind, just like the first game. There's nothing really complex to the game. It really is Xenoverse 1.5, not really Xenoverse 2. I talk about all this in the review that you can check out on KO Gaming, so give it a look if you haven't yet. But no, that's pretty much it for that playthrough. Like, I enjoyed playing it, but there's no way I'm going to spend more money on this game, okay? And then this weekend, this entire weekend, I've been playing Dishonored 2. Now, I decided to do the complete flip side of my Dishonored 1 playthrough. Instead of playing with Corvo as a stealth, non-violent run as I did in that game, this time around I played as Emily, the new character, and I did a Chaos run, meaning it was all melee combat, physical killing as many people as I could, with a twist. The only people I tried not to kill were the actual, boss characters, because it was actually very interesting to find out the optional ways to take those characters out without necessarily killing them, although even the things that you do that aren't killing them are still pretty messed up things, like giving electroshock therapy to one so much that he can't even fucking think straight. So, I definitely enjoyed Dishonored 2. I just finished it today. Now, I didn't plan on finishing it today. The playthrough ended at around 15 and a half hours long. First off, I am reviewing the game. I'm reviewing it tomorrow night, Monday night, for KO Gaming, and it's going to be covering the Emily side and a Chaos Run side of things. I want to review this video now. I want to do it now. Now, some people might say, but Phil, that's not a full review of the game. You still have to go through the game as Corvo and do a non-violent run and play it for another 15 and a half hours before you can properly review the game. To which I say, stop it. All right? Stop it. Because the bottom line is, I'm not just sitting here playing Dishonored 2 for 2 weeks. I mean, I played it Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday so that I could finish it before the new releases this week. Sorry, I don't have another 15 and a half hours in the next day to sit here and play through a Corvo playthrough of the game. I just don't. You know, it's real life, reality. It's not going to happen, okay? I'm not saying that a Corvo run is out completely. I'm saying that it certainly is going to be something that may happen at a future date as like a later on thing and a secondary focus. It certainly will not be a primary focus, being that honestly not many people really were turning out to see me play Dishonored 2 to begin with, okay? Now, I don't know why. The bottom line is this: I didn't let it affect me because people were already getting pissy about how stream views were low and everything. I didn't even look at stream views. I haven't even looked at YouTube views. I just played the game and enjoyed it on its own. And the bottom line is, I actually like Dishonored 2 so much, it's probably going to end up in my Game of the Year Awards countdown, at least for the first playthrough that I did with Emily, okay? So I don't care about views and all that. I'm telling you, the game was good. So if you haven't seen the playthrough, all right, I actually think the game is quite interesting and quite entertaining. Now, that might be that it's more fun to play than watch. I have no idea. The bottom line is, I like Dishonored 2. So, being that I finished it today, and I was actually not planning on finishing it until tomorrow, my schedule is going to shift around a bit for a day, and we're going to have some extra stuff in there that I wasn't planning on doing. So now let's talk about the new schedule coming up. All right, so tonight, as I already said, right after this weekend preview, I may or may not be filming some private Q&A videos for patrons, but I will be sending all your information off to my webmaster, and you can expect your forum upgrades within the next couple of days, so you can start nominating games and posting up your questions. FYI, the nominations for the Indies Marathon that's taking place at the end of this month, the 28th of November, will be going on for one more week, and then after that week, they'll close, and then I'll make it a poll where you can now vote on the games that were nominated, okay? So there you go. Tomorrow, my gameplay stream will be, get ready for this, Call of Duty Infinite Warfare multiplayer. Now, I only played 6 matches of this last week. It was all I had time for, and I thought it was hilarious for all the wrong reasons. I mean, double jumping, crazy wall running, transforming into a robot fucking dog and running around swatting at people, drones, explosions, grenades that turn into fucking portals in front of your face. You can't even tell what the fuck's going on. It was pretty much the most joking fucking Call of Duty I've ever seen. Like, I don't know how anyone could take this seriously. I don't. It just looks, the game's a fucking joke. And when you watch that, let me put it this way. You watch a video of Infinite Warfare multiplayer, then you watch a video of Modern Warfare Remastered multiplayer, and you look at them side by side, and you're like, wow, military-based shooter, serious business. What the fuck is this over here? This looks like a game designed for ADD-infused 5-year-olds who can't even fucking do anything. They wouldn't even play a game unless it was sparkly and flashy. Oh my god, look, everyone's a superhuman, and they're doing flying fucking moves, and drones are coming out of the fucking sky, and dogs are coming. What the fuck? That's not a first-person shooter. That's a joke made for a little kid. It really is. And the bottom line is, I can't imagine a grown adult, a fucking grown adult, playing that at length for more than, say, you know, a couple weeks before they say, what the fuck is this? I want something more serious. You know, like, it's so ridiculous. So, that's the impression I got from 6 matches. Tomorrow, I'm doing a full stream of the Call of Duty Infinite Warfare multiplayer. That way, I'll get a good 3 hours of it, exposure. I'll play the different game modes, so if there's new game modes or whatever that I haven't seen yet, I'll see them, and I'll experience it all, so that way I can finally know exactly what the multiplayer is for when I review the game. Now, you might say, well, what else is left? What's holding you off from reviewing the game? Well, zombies. The game has a zombies mode that I have not had a chance to play. I'm hoping that maybe within, say, the next week, so probably not this week with all the new releases, but maybe next week, I'll take a session to do the zombies with people. And listen, I've had a bunch of people who have been messaging me constantly. People emailing me. I have people private messaging me. Phil, I want to do zombies with you. And the bottom line is I haven't responded to anyone because I don't know when I'm playing zombies. I thought I was going to be playing it last week, and it didn't work out because Dishonored ended up releasing a day earlier than I'd thought it was coming out. So that being said, I don't know when I'm doing zombies. I'm going to do it definitely, probably, maybe in the next week to 2 weeks. By the end of November, definitely. I want to do that session before Final Fantasy 15 starts so I can review the game before Final Fantasy 15 starts, all right? So, Tomorrow, Call of Duty Infinite Warfare multiplayer. That's going to be a fun stream. I think we're going to laugh more than anything at how ridiculous the fucking game is, okay? Tomorrow night, I'm doing my Dishonored 2 review. So that'll be live on KO Gaming. Yes, it will be only a mini or work in progress review where it's only going to be covering the Emily side and the chaos / melee combat kill everyone style of the game. I can't review the other half of the game, but I don't have 15 and a half hours right now. So rather than not review anything, I'll review the half of the game that I played, okay? Tuesday, Watch Dogs 2 releases. Now, is Phil doing a midnight release? No. I'm just not, because it's this simple. Number one, I'll be honest here with everyone. Number one, I'm going to be busy. I'm going to be working on this review for Dishonored 2 that night. And midnight would be 9 p.m. my time. I'll still be working on the review. I won't even be done probably till 10 or later. So there's no way that I could do a midnight release for Watch Dogs 2. That's number one. Number two, you might have noticed something. I did almost no midnight releases this year. Almost zero. Okay, in fact, I can't even remember the last one I did, if I even did one. And you may wonder, why isn't Phil doing midnight releases anymore? The answer is very simple. Because I used to do midnight releases when people on YouTube didn't get advanced copies of the game weeks ahead of time and were doing full playthroughs and streams of them weeks ahead of time. By doing a midnight release, I was able to cover the game as soon as humanly possible, and my videos were some of the first on YouTube, so people would come out, wow, we want to see Phil be the first to play this game, and they would come watch the videos right away. The atmosphere has changed. Now, YouTube is a big commercial marketplace where people put out paid advertisements for games and they get sent the games weeks ahead of time and they do completely edited, falsified playthroughs of their games on YouTube early to make money. It's a much different situation than it used to be when I used to do midnight releases all the time. And the bottom line is, doing a midnight release for Watch Dogs 2 isn't going to help anything. People already have playthroughs. I'm not even kidding. People already have playthroughs of it up. They've already live streamed it. It's already been completely spoiled because these companies send the games out and pay gamers to make fake playthroughs for you. And people fall for it and go watch it. So there's no benefit to me doing a midnight release anymore. There's just none. So instead of a midnight release, what I've been doing, if you've noticed, when a game comes out, I play it all day. So I play it my usual stream times, but I do it all day long, 5-6 hours of gameplay in that one launch day. And that's how I celebrate new releases for games now, okay? Now, the one game that I'm considering doing a midnight release for is Final Fantasy 15, because I think it's kind of the enigma. It's the game out there that no one really knows if it's going to be good, and people are super hyped for it because it's been so long since we've had a new Final Fantasy numbered installment. I may do a midnight release for that one, but that would probably be the exception to the rule. I just realized my headphones are still on. They're glowing over here next to me. It might be the exception to the rule, but bottom line is, why do midnight releases anymore? A lot of people can't come out late anyway. And everyone else gets the game before me because I'm not one of the big elite YouTubers who gets games early and gets paid to do a fucking playthrough as a promotional event on YouTube. So, fuck me, I guess, right? The era of the common gamer actually having a chance to cover games is gone. We have to wait. We get it later than these big-time, popular celebrity gaming YouTubers. They're better than us, apparently, because not only do they fucking get the games ahead of time, but then they get paid big lump sums of money to promote the games. Isn't that nice? Isn't this nice what YouTube has become? It's not just people enjoying games and sharing their experiences anymore. Now everything's a paid fucking advertisement. Boy, isn't this a great place to be? But people tell me that, oh, you know, Phil, you shouldn't talk negative about those big YouTubers. Okay, well then you tell me about the quality of videos on YouTube today, and you tell me that I wasn't right all these years when I was against all these fucking practices, right? But anyway, there's no reason to do a midnight release. Okay? There's just none. People already have Watch Dogs 2. So, Watch Dogs 2 I'll be covering all day Tuesday, which is the 15th of November. I'll be doing 2 streams, an early stream starting at the usual time, noon Pacific time, and then a later stream at 7 p.m. So you'll get a good 5-6 hours of gameplay of Watch Dogs 2 just on Tuesday. Wednesday, I'm probably doing the exact same thing, okay? So 2 solid days of crazy amounts of Watch Dogs 2 gameplay. Thursday, I'm probably playing it again, but on Thursday, I actually have to go out and do my errands and stuff for the week, like grocery shopping, so only 1 session on Thursday. Ooh, excuse me. Friday is the premiere of Pokemon, either Moon or Sun. I've decided I'm getting Moon. So my gameplay stream, my main gameplay stream on Friday will be Pokemon Moon. Now, what I'm doing here is I'm purposely leaving it open because I don't know if I want to do 2 sessions of Pokemon on Friday, or maybe I'll do a session of Pokemon and then Watch Dogs, or maybe by some freak chance after playing Watch Dogs 2 3 days in a row, I'll beat it. I don't foresee that happening, but maybe it will happen, in which case maybe I want to work on the review Friday night. I'm kind of trying to leave the schedule open so that I have that window of opportunity over the weekend that I can balance Watch Dogs 2 with Pokemon Moon and play it throughout the week, all right? And the good news is the only rumored release that's coming out the next week, so not this week coming, but the next week, is The Walking Dead Season 3. Now, if that's true, great. And I'm okay with that because guess what? That game's 90 minutes to 2 hours long? That's not a big time investment at all. I'm easily able to play that whenever it releases while balancing a playthrough of Pokemon and Watch Dogs 2. So that's what you can expect going through the Thanksgiving week, okay? Now, during Thanksgiving week, maybe I'll finish up some stuff. Maybe I'll finish up Watch Dogs 2. Great. Then maybe I'll go back and I'll do Zombies of Call of Duty Infinite Warfare so that I can review the game. That would be excellent, right? Maybe I'll go back and I'll do something like I'll try to do a second run through Dishonored 2 with Corvo. Maybe I'll go back to WWE for the first time in a freaking month and play a session of that. I don't know. I'm trying to leave it open so that way there's potential for a lot of stuff during Thanksgiving week that, you know, I could do depending on what I feel or what's going on with the existing playthroughs, okay? And then really, outside of the Indies Marathon that's going to happen on Monday, the 28th, the only other thing going on is Final Fantasy 15 for this month. So that would be, oh my god, that would be a pretty crazy day. Imagine I do my Indies Marathon that Monday, the 28th of November. So that's 12 noon to say 7:30 p.m. I take a break to eat dinner, and then I come back at 9 p.m. for a 2-hour midnight premiere of Final Fantasy 15. Oh my god. I might be shot, but hey, I might have to do it. I don't know, we'll see. Then again, I don't even know if Final Fantasy 15 is actually releasing at 9 p.m/midnight here on the West Coast. It might be one of those deals where, oh, well, midnight for you is really midnight for you, so you don't get to play it till midnight your time, even though people on the East Coast, you know, are playing it already. I don't know. I don't know what they're going to do. So I don't want to get too far ahead of myself. Okay. So in summary, what can you expect this week? Tonight, Patreon stuff will get action. Within a couple days, you should get your upgrades. Tomorrow, Call of Duty Infinite Warfare multiplayer and the review of Dishonored 2 Emily/Chaos Run. Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Excuse me, I screwed that up. Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Watch Dogs 2. Starting Friday, Pokemon Moon and balanced with Watch Dogs 2. Okay, for the next several days into the next week. And then next weekend on the weekend preview, I'll give you an update on, gee, how did everything go? Did I get to finish up? You know, can I get to review anything? And we'll go from there, all right? So that's great. 2 new games I'm covering this week, plus some hilarious multiplayer coming up tomorrow, plus a game review. That's going to be a lot of stuff that you can check out on DSP Gaming for the raw stuff, on KO Gaming for the reviews and stuff, all right? All right. Whew. That is it. One final thing. If you were a patron of mine, and again, I said this last week, but I don't know how many patrons have been paying attention, basically. If you were a patron of mine, and you didn't get a PM on Patreon.com in regards to the perk, or you think that I owe you a perk, and I didn't message you and you didn't get it, please let me know, because I think what happened is sometimes with Patreon data is that if you pledge a big amount and then you lower the amount immediately, you don't show up as pledging that big amount in the spreadsheet that they give me, the spreadsheet of manual data. So I don't know. Some people might have pledged like $50 to get the private Q&A video, but then immediately lowered it to $5. And then when the report came out, it says you only pledged $5. I want to be sure I'm getting everyone their proper perks. So if you think something slipped through the cracks or whatever, you got to email me, darksidephil@hotmail.com, and we'll get it hashed out. In fact, you're going to see coming up right now in this patron thank you crawl, I fixed it because there was a patron who did pledge in October and he fell off the list for whatever reason, didn't even show up on the list. And I added his name to the patron call. He's actually the first name now because I felt so bad. I made him the first name in the patron crawl this week. So thank you, Hank, for being considerate and understanding. I don't know what happened. Sorry about that. That is it for the weekend preview. That was a lot of information to cover and to process. Thank you for being patient. I'm very excited for this week. The bottom line is this. I actually looked, so just a very quick addendum, and then we'll end. I'm doing good this month. I actually just checked my results on YouTube. YouTube's been very messed up this month in regarding to reporting. Like, it's not daily reporting the data like it's supposed to be. I don't know why. I think they screwed up the website again. But it updated the other day, and so far so good when it comes to like my business and revenue and stuff. It's actually good, but I think it's because this is the busy gaming season and all of the freaking ads on YouTube are very profitable right now. Because some people have been saying, oh my god, Phil's been playing Dishonored 2 and not a lot of people watched him play the game. I don't know why. Does that mean that he's tanking and he's going out of business? Luckily no, because right now the ad revenue is good. But obviously that doesn't mean long term, right? I mean, it just means for right now stuff's good. So we'll see what happens. All right. Okay, everyone. That's it for the Week in Preview. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next week on another Week in Preview. We'll have an update on everything. But hopefully I'll see you tomorrow for Infinite Warfare and for the Dishonored 2 review. And, of course, I hope to see you for the new releases this week. Peace out, everyone. And without further ado, thanks to the following October patrons.